I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brickmaker channel. You're watching one half of a two-part video. This one being, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with the worst weapon in the game? You may be surprised to see that the weakest weapon yields the highest strength. Similar to the strongest weapon where he only had one strength. I picked medicine, melee weapons and survival, and accidentally for some reason picked small frame instead of picking skilled. I take heavy handed and make my way out into the Mojave. If you guys know what the weapon is going to be, please leave your guesses down in the comments below. And if you get it right, head back and reply to your own comment. After quickly fixing my traits, I arrive at Prim and take a left, unlike the strongest video where I had to take a right. I make my way through the Prim Pass and encounter the blind Deathclaw, who, if you don't know, actually has some of the highest perception out of any Deathclaws. So, although he is blind, he actually will find you much faster than a normal Deathclaw would. I camp out on top of Harper's shack and I reach Novak, the place where I'm going to find my lovely weapon. I enter Cliff Briscoe's house and this is the last chance for you to guess, guys. Bash! I'm sure many of you knew it would be the rolling pin. I did a good amount of research for this game in trying to find the worst weapon. I thought maybe the BB gun or sorts, but overall the highest consensus seems to be the rolling pin. Even trying to equip varmint rifle ammo doesn't get me past beating the bottle, so I instead beat Sunny Smiles because I want to do the initial quest for Goodsprings. The reason I have to do this quest is because this is mirroring the strongest weapon, a video that should also be on this channel right now. And in these videos I have to complete all the same quests and finish the game with the same method. As you can see, I'm already having to use my weapon repair kits on such a weak weapon. However, the intimidation is real because just walking into the saloon gets me shocked. They saw the rolling pin, they know that they must fear me. I decided to do the opposite for this quest in the other video and side with the powder gangers. And that involves me having to beat poor Ringo into a pulp in the corner. I obviously sped up the footage so you guys don't have to wait as long as I did for this to end. With that done, I give Joe Cobb the good news and he could not be happier than having someone with my power on his side. I do the very smart thing and wait for the fighting to start as I hide behind this big rock. And catch this man in his shorts. I face the only enemy that I could probably take out in Cheyenne. And when I return to the front of the saloon, the only person that's left is Doc Mitchell. All the powder gangers are gone, all the Goodspring locals are gone, it's only me. And well, the man that saved my life. Well, unfortunately for Doc Mitchell, I'm not as caring as he was, and I have to take him out with the good old rolling pin. I make a beeline for the Mojave outpost as I'm going to need Major Knight's repair skill more than anything you know. And luckily for me, to repair my armor and my rolling pin, I don't even have to spend more than 200 caps. In fact, I don't think the rolling pin will ever go above 20 caps. Such a strange thing, because it's actually a very rare weapon. When I made the video, I jumped on the Fallout wiki and had a look. Where are some guaranteed locations to pick up a rolling pin? There's only two. There's getting one in the Novak house in Cliff Briscoe's fridge, or you can put on Wild Wasteland and fight the gang of grannies, making it one of the more rarer weapons in the game. The first person I want to give a close-up to my very rare weapon is Oliver Swanwick. Don't matter what the play for is, don't matter who I've sided with, don't matter who my teammates are. Oliver Swanwick's got to go. He's so weak I only have to take him out in about 4 or 5 shots. After the sacrifice of Oliver has been completed, I decide to make my way through the Black Mountain shortcut. Now I have to take out all the centaurs. In hindsight, I really wish I had recorded the weakest weapon first, because when I did the strongest weapon I thought, it'll be fine. I can do whatever I want, and I'll just, make sure I do it with the rolling pin. It'll take a bit longer, but I'll make sure I do it. I wish I hadn't done that, because now I need to wipe out all these centaurs. Finishing off the last one, Mo, I can finally make my way through the Black Mountain shortcut. Now, even though I took out every single Nightkin and Super Mutant on this mountain, the real goal is just freeing Raoul and taking out Tabitha and the Nightkin sniper, so that should be enough to get me through this crazy quest. Now, she might have a super sledge, but I've got a rolling pin, and block, it don't matter what weapon you've got, the block does the same amount of resistance. So after a lot of healing supplies and just, to be brutally honest, a lot of time, I'm able to take out Tabitha and make my way over to the Nightkin sniper. To be honest, he's not too much of a problem. If they've not got melee weapons to block, if you can get close enough to a ranged weapon, they actually can't really hit you very consistently. But that means you do have to get up close and personal. The second you're out of rolling pin range, you're going to get picked off very quickly. I attempt it one more time and decide to free Raoul first. It's always good to get a nice bit of XP, plus I wouldn't mind sleeping to get my health back as I have very little healing supplies. I let good old Raoul scamper off and take my fight back to the Nightkin sniper one more time. It goes the same as it did the first time, but I've got a lot more health and a lot more medical supplies reserves as well. With him finished off, I'm able to make my way over the fence and not get shot in the butt this time. The next enemy I've got to face is the boulder, and if you saw the other video, you know nothing can defeat that, so I don't even bother. Eventually I arrive around Freeside and meet just the brightest light I've ever seen in this game. This is the first time I've ever noticed the lamps on during the day. I headed over to the Fistal building and remembered very fast that I never put on Wild Wasteland. With my time wasted and yours, I submit my credit check and eventually make my way into New Vegas. Now, like you saw in the other one, I gotta take out all the casinos. Luckily for me, the chairmen only have suits and their weapons aren't particularly strong. So if as long as I've got plenty of stim packs, I'm able to finally take out Benny and take out Swank. It's here where I get a very much needed perk of Super Slam and go have a chat with Mr. House. I decided to watch this nice little display this time because you get 1,000 cats for watching. And remember to pick up the Jake Juice as it is also a 1-for-1 in this game, similar to the rolling pin. The next stop for me is to head right over to Gomorrah and take out all the Omeras. In the other video, I felt very confident coming in here. And actually, to be very honest, I probably got taken out less with the rolling pin. And that was something I started to notice in the early stages of this run. Because I had to be so careful with my health and the amount of damage I could do, I probably did end up getting taken out less, because I always had to be more careful and more alert. Unlike the other video, where the majority of my failings were due to my own hands. This, however, is the most difficult casino to take out with a melee weapon, because the white gloves all have dress canes. The problem with that is that the majority of your hits are going to get blocked, especially if you're fighting a large group, which by the end of it I was just being chased by 100 people with 100 canes, hitting me 100 times in the back of my head. Constant concussions, constant doctor bags, constant stim packs. There's no way I'm planning to take out everyone. Marjorie and Mortimer will have to do. Marjorie was very smart though, as she kept getting herself trapped into a huge pile of other Ultralux people. Meaning I ended up getting my head broken off more than once. I eventually stopped trying to take out everyone and just focused on a singular person. Once Marjorie was done, I decided to make my way over to Red Rock. I meet a Scorpion gang member who I've never seen before playing this game, and take out Queenie as well. That's just a bit of good fun, isn't it? I'll never get to see the result of my efforts, but I'll be happy knowing that I did that. Arriving at the Longhouse of the Great Khans, well, there's only two people I've really got to take out, Papa Khan and Regis. These fights always end up being the same thing. I get myself trapped in the middle of a huge group of people, and I swing my rolling pin and spam stim packs until the people I need to be gone are gone. I was able to generate so much power at one point that I was able to phase Papa Khan through the floor and he spawned up somewhere else. That shows the real devastating power of the rolling pin. But with Papa Khan and Regis taken out, I make my way right out of Red Rock and decide that now is as good a time as any to take out Mr. House. finally a battle I feel pretty confident in winning. It's just a quick run past all the Securitrons, load up those computers, and well, upload Mr. House to heaven. Nice, Brick, you got him. You got him. Yes Man plugs his USB into Mr. House's hard drive, and the next place for me to head is over to Cottonwood Cove. Somehow I don't think this will be as easy as the other video. I won't get the same aerial bombardment in this video, but I just start whacking. And unfortunately a lot of legionaries carry melee weapons, so I just end up bouncing my rolling pin off of a bunch of their goddamn heads. I eventually find a somewhat smart tactic. I hide in this corner, I run back out, and I get taken out one more time. A new approach is needed as I throw in a stealth boy, and for some reason, all is forgiven. I mean, they even ask me what my business is. Now I can take the raft right up to the fort, and well, to be brutally honest guys, there's probably not much of a chance that I'm going to be taking out Caesar. However, that's not what's needed. I just have to upgrade the Securitrons like I did in the strongest video. So you, Caesar, you lucky boy, you won't have to feel my wrath this day. You don't have to feel the power of the pen this time. I enter the underground bunker and, well, you can see what I'm doing on screen now. I don't have the healing items, I don't have the rolling pin condition, I don't have the will, I don't have the perseverance, I just have stealth. So I shake the ground below Caesar's feet, get a nice little bit of XP, and start moving on with the main quest. Before I do that though, I do head over to Durable Dunn's Sat Caravan, where I'm able to pick up some nice combat armor, and these Vanguard first remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. You guys have no idea how much it helps, and a huge like on the video as well makes sure that more people can see this. If you don't do it, I'll do this to every Brahmin I see. I take out the mandatory George, and arrive at the front gate of Nels Air Force Base. Now the Boomers are quite a big faction in the game, so I felt like it would be appropriate to do the same thing as I did in the strongest video and take out all the Boomers leaders. With Pearl I do the same thing I did to her that I did to Papa Can and start shooting her into different dimensions with my rolling pin. She starts swimming under the floor and magically spawns out of the carpet. I stuff her behind the couch and make my way over to Loyal. Unfortunately, he has some loyal friends. Do you get it? Who decided to follow me into his house. One positive, when you're inside the house, the Boomers decide not to blow you up. Negative, they only use melee weapons while they're in here. It's generally better to be up against someone with a machine gun than it would be to up against someone with a lead pipe, because it just prolongs all of the fights. With Loyal and Pearl taken out, I start making my way over to the front gate because I ain't got time to wipe out every single Mr. Gutsy on this place. I get my legs and arm blown up for my troubles, and similar to Black Mountain, I just do a hop, skip and a jump over the fence and back to relative safety. Now comes the difficult part. No, not the bark scorpions. The very specific reason that I have to go get Piercing Strike for this character. I need to take out all of the Brotherhood. Well, at least the leaders. I get myself full up of every chem and alcohol I can find, and tell these tin cans that I'm here for a fight. I am not here for a fight. I am terrified of this fight, but here we go. I employ a similar tactic that I used at Black Mountain, by trapping them into corners and trying to beat them as much as possible while they miss. It has some success, but most of the time I just end up getting my ass shot off. In these large groups, it is not fun trying to take out at least one soldier at a time. However, that's all you can do. You have to focus all of your power and all of your brain onto one singular soldier just to reduce the amount of ghost rifle fire that you're going to be taking. If you try and take them all at once, you're going to be here forever. The more paladins you take out, the less damage you take. And my god, did I take some damage. Just take and take and take. God. You can already see the condition of my rolling pin is nearly at breaking point. and that was just taking out 3 or 4 paladins. I head back to Major Knight as he is going to be my absolute crutch for the rest of this playthrough. I also decided to go get the same armor from the other video, as it would only seem fair to get myself kitted out with the same sort of DT. And to be brutally honest, the combat armor just wasn't doing it, so I grabbed the riot gear from Lonesome Road. Is it the best possible thing I can get for DT? Probably not, but it's definitely the coolest, and I'm ready to keep fighting the Brotherhood of Steel. Luckily for me, Paladin Ramos is the next battle I gotta take on with his little paladin helper, so I do a nice little sneaky tactic and get them trapped in a corner. Like you guys have probably heard 100 times, for some reason Paladin Ramos just has the lowest amount of health out of any of the Brotherhood, so he's easily to take out. But we enter the real true hell. Corridors and corridors lined with paladins and recon soldiers, also crossed over by a bunch of Mark 6 turrets. Which means I've either got to stay in the one room to focus on one soldier while I get my ass peppered, or I just got to keep constantly running. And just remember, these guys can one-shot you if they get a lucky hit with the rifle. It was at this point I started to well and truly lose hope. I hadn't even put a dent in and I was already out of stim packs and my rolling pin was nearly breaking. Returning one more time and the scribes were much easier. It's just that power armor, that is what is killing me right now. At best, I can take on one soldier at a time in full power armor, but the people like McNamara and the scribes, I can take on a whole group. It's nothing to do with perseverance or time, it's just with my health and how much healing items I have. After taking out the Elder, well, I get taken out myself. I decided to make love to the sink, as it felt like the only appropriate thing to do at the time, as I was already running out of stim packs. Rob head Paladin Harden, and get blown up for my troubles. I again have to leave, this time just to pick up healing items. I was coming in here with at least 60 at one time, and I had to wait 3 days for it, which meant all the soldiers spawned back into the bunker. After I'm able to trap Taggart in a corner, I'm able to wipe out the apprentices and all the different senior scribes and people like that, and decided, you know what, enough is enough. I've taken out all 3 leaders. That's all I have to do. Enough is enough. Haven't we suffered enough? And I go back and tell Yes Man about all my great work. The only thing that's left to do now is power up the El Dorado substation. With that quick task done, I can head back to Yes Man and agree to assault the dam for him. Assaulting the dam is, well, I don't know if you would count me assaulting the dam. I'm more like run and scamper across it. I do get in a fight though with these 2 heavy troopers as I want their armor. As my current armor has no DT, no health, and I need something for the fight with the Legate. With the NCR salvaged armor taken, I head right into the mainframe and plug his USB into another hard drive. You naughty naughty boy. I power it up so we can take over the fort. And again, I'm more of a casual observer as I walk over to the Legate's gate. Once entering the camp, I have no confidence as taking on 1 Praetorian guard takes me a lot of focus, a lot of time, and well, a lot of DT on the rolling pin as well. But we are at the moment of truth. I have reached the Legate. And I'm sure it will go just as quick as it did in the other video. Yep, it's going pretty damn fast. This battle is the hardest battle I've ever done, for a multitude of reasons. I feel like with this challenge run I didn't properly prepare. I felt like at this point I could have done better. I thought 100 stim packs would be enough. I thought some power armor would stop me being launched into space. But it wasn't. It wasn't enough. And to be brutally honest, if it was a one-on-one fight, I think I could have won this pretty fast. But I didn't put anything into speech, so I can't talk the Legate into a one-on-one fight. I can't even talk him into a fight with just me and his Praetorian guards. The only thing I can do is try and get as much damage as I can in before the 20 or so soldiers come to back him up. The majority of them using melee weapons, so my rolling pin is bouncing off of walls. and a good amount of marksman carbines, giving me plenty of support fire into the back of my skull. No, the more and more times I tried this fight, the more and more I started to lose a little bit of hope. But what are we to do except persevere? I felt if I could get the Legate trapped into a corner, I would be able to do enough damage to at least get him to his second phase. But this is what I would call hopeful thinking, as he Barry bonds my ass into a fence and launches me into a tent. And for good measure, he started throwing grenades at me. But look, ooh, look at that! It's just a one-on-one now. It's just a one-on-one, me and the Legate. Here we go. Now the hope is back. With the Legate one-on-one, I'm able to take a lot more time and face him head on, using my blocks to a great advantage. I'm also able to get a good amount of knockdowns on him. And hey, what's that off in the corner there? Oh, hey, oh, don't look at any of that. What happened to all those Legate? What happened to all those soldiers? Don't, hey, look, my character just got launched into a wall. Let's focus back on that again. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on this. The Legate still has the Super Slam perk itself. However, randomly, I was able to get a level up. I became vilified and out of nowhere, after being literally just skyrocketed into a wall, I was able to grab the Stonewall perk. And it came at the perfect time. Without getting knocked down and being able to block the majority of his hits and knock him down myself, this fight became a lot simpler. Helped by the fact that I was able to get the Legate stuck into this rock like he was my stepsister. With the Legate unable to move, it was just a matter of time. And yeah, I mean, it still took a sweet amount of time even with him in this position. But eventually, I'm able to knock out the Legate and win this battle. I claim his helmet for myself and get a good look at his handsome face. With that, the only thing left to do is to speak to General Oliver. Now this end battle was just more of a formality, as I have no time to fight all those veteran rangers and run off and hide in a corner. Once I've returned, it's only Oliver left, so I get a few swings in at the end. And yes man, I definitely did it with only a rolling pin. Answering the question that yes, you can, yeah, you definitely can, you can beat Fallout New Vegas with the weakest weapon. Right, well, it's time to come clean. This is a first for the channel. The amount of attempts that I took with the Legate's camp, the amount of retries and resaves and reloading it to get more stim packs and different things like that, I simply just didn't have the time to keep pursuing it. With the current way my character was built, I don't think he could have defeated the Legate with a rolling pin. So, like I said, this is a first. This is a failed challenge. I have found the answer that I, the Brickmaker, cannot beat Fallout New Vegas with the worst weapon in the game. However, for a future video, I may retry this challenge and, well, design the character a little bit differently. However, that's why we make these challenges, to see if we can or can't do it. It's not about the end result sometimes, it's about the journey and the friends we made along the way. And if you guys ended up enjoying this video despite me failing it, then make sure to leave a like. If you haven't seen this video's brother, then it is also on the channel now, beating the game with the strongest weapon. Make sure to go check it out, leave a like on that video as well, and leave any suggestions down below for any other challenges you'd like to see me try. I've been the Brickmaker, and I hope you guys have a lovely day.